Good morning, guys. So look at what I did yesterday. I was able to get that done last night. So I got that rocker pulled apart and I have it primed. And so now today maybe, this evening maybe, I can, this Luke's Kong. We've already been outside tossing it, he had to go to the bathroom and we opened the goats and stuff. But yeah, maybe today. Maybe this evening I can get a first coat of paint on it. If not, I'll at least get it sanded and ready for a first coat of paint. So that's where I'm at. What a difference though already just looking at it white, with that primer. Although I really like the looks of it all weathered and worn like that. But because it had been sitting outside for God only knows how long and it was like that, it was very loose and very rickety and, really in need of some help. Not safe to sit in. Not a safe chair to sit in, but it will be. Already it's more sturdy just from having taken that bottom apart and putting that all back together and banging it in there tight and getting it all glued. It's much more sturdy just getting that bottom done. So yeah, that's what I managed to do. Proud of myself for getting that much done on it yesterday. So let's see, what time is it? It is 20 minutes to 6. And my dusk to dawn light, there's Loki Duke. He just climbed up onto the couch. Oh, he's got a big yawn. Can you say good morning to everybody? Can you say good morning? Can you say good morning, Loki Duke? You tell everybody you're a busy boy. He says it's 48 degrees here this morning, so I was feeling frisky. He always comes out and helps me do the chores, and so we went out. We've been into the barn already, and he thank you, what a good boy. And so we had to toss the Kong around a little bit, and then we came back in, and he had to ask for a couple of treats, and then he was like, pretended he had to go back out and go to the bathroom. So we went back out, and he was just pretending. What he really wanted to do was toss the Kong around some more. So he's already been out and exercised a little bit. Plus, we're getting some hair out of him. He's shedding so bad right now. He's shedding out his summer coat and getting ready to get in a heavier winter coat. Although because he is a working line, he doesn't have the amount of fur that all of my other shepherds did. So he's nowhere near as hairy as everybody else that I had was. His hair isn't as long, and he doesn't have that wicked slope to his back, thank goodness, because they breed. He's biting at me to keep patting him. They breed these poor dogs to look good for show, and sadly, they do that, and they end up with hip dysplasia and wrist dysplasia, and it's just really sad. It's just really, really sad. Oh, buddy. But you're a working line, so you're built a little different. Yeah, you're built different. All right, Mama's got to go up and do a reading for everybody. Do you want to come up and get another treat? Do you want another treat? Would you like a treat, Lukey Duke? You want a treat? Come on up and we'll give you a treat. Yeah, we'll get you a treat. Go ahead. Yeah. We got to get that boy a treat. Oh, yes, he's a good boy. He's drug my slipper around here. Hold on, you guys. I got to get Lukey Duke a treat. I hope everybody is doing well this morning. It's 48 degrees here this morning. It's like fall. It feels like fall. You want this? Do you want that? Oh, don't toss it. Don't toss it. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. All right. Good morning. I'm going to flip you around. Hold on. All right. Get you in the tripod. I'll try to get you in the tripod. turn you just so, and then I'll get you plugged in so that we don't run out of battery. But yeah, I got that primed, so that's progress. I'm looking forward to having it done because it's actually, I told you guys the other one is a bit big, just a little bit bigger. And this one here is actually like, you know, my size. I'm not very tall. I'm a shorty. All right, hold on. I'm going to pause you. I'll be right back. Sorry, you guys. I had to take off my jacket. I'm telling you, I'm either hot flashing and I'm hotter than the gates of hell, or I'm cold. And there's not usually a happy medium. It's ridiculous. So let's see, what time does it say right now? It says it's about 5:45. This morning this morning the dusk to dawn light went off at 5:15. And that's ridiculous. Let me tip you down so you'll be able to see better. I think that's going to work out pretty good. Yeah, so it's August 6th, the month that we call August, the date that we call the 6th, on the day that we call Wednesday, in the year that we call 2025. And it is 48 degrees right now outside. August should be much hotter than that. We're still having nice days, but it's getting really cool at night like it does in the fall. And so over the last several years, since 2020, I have noticed that August acts more like September. And yeah, it just acts more like September. So it's already getting cool at night, and it's already way too dark. So I saw a little pop-up yesterday. I haven't gone in to read all of the comments yet, the full comments, because when it pops up on my phone, when it gives me this little pop-up notification, I get a few sentences. But I saw that somebody said, wow, look how light it is there at 5:45 in the morning here in Maine. And yeah, we're east. We get the sun first. So I can't imagine, like, my nephew lives in South Carolina, and we talk, and like in the winter when I'm going stir crazy because it doesn't get really light until after 7 a.m. He's like, well, it doesn't really get light here until way later than that. I'm like, ugh, I would hate that. I would hate it. We get up at 3. So no matter what time of year it is, we're getting up in the dark. But in the summer, it should be broad daylight at 4. It should be. But this year it hasn't been. And now it's already, like, our dusk to dawn lamp is already, you know, it's staying on until, like, this morning it was 5:15. And so when it goes off, it's still not broad daylight yet. It still takes a few minutes for it to lighten up. And it's 5:45 this morning, and it's you can see there's no overcast out there, and you can see the sun you know, peeking through, but it's still not as bright as it was yesterday morning, and it should be, right? Things don't change that much in a day. It's just kind of nuts. It's nuts. So anyway, happy Wednesday. I hope you're all having a beautiful morning, and let's get this show on the road, shall we? So let's just start with, someone asked me the other day if I still thought we were winning. And I do, because I trust. And yeah, I trust. That's basically what it comes down to. I find I have a lot more peace and a lot more happiness in my life to just trust. Years and years ago, you guys, I was pretty black-pilled. Like, being awake having a level of awareness your entire life, and just the older you get, the more awareness you have, the more awakeness you have. So like I grew up knowing my government was corrupt. I knew that. I was very young when I knew that the banks played with your money, that your money wasn't there. It's not like you put your money in the bank and they have it there in a little special little box for you, available at any time. I understood these things, and I grew up in a area where our cops were such assholes, you guys. I had no faith in law enforcement because I could see the corruption. And so throughout my life, I've had a level of awareness, and that awareness just grows and grows and grows, right? So by the time Obama got in, I was black-pilled. When he got in, I was like, are you kidding me? He's not even a United States citizen. This guy comes up out of nowhere, and all of a sudden he's supposed to be the next best thing to slice bread. Who the hell is this guy? And then, the Obamacare, and they're fining poor people. Like, you can't afford insurance? Let me pretend I care about people so much that they have got to have health insurance, and I will fine you if you don't have it. Here's my kid working 2 freaking jobs, and he's getting fined because he doesn't have his own personal insurance, and the companies that he worked for didn't offer insurance plans. It just, and people would still sing his praises because sleepy much. So yeah, I was pretty black-pilled. And his agenda was just like, oh my God, those evacuation routes started going up everywhere. The FEMA camps going up. I'm like, telling my sister, if something happens, whatever you friggin' do not follow those evacuation routes. And then they started having practice runs with the children during the day. I was black-pilled. So I said to myself, this sucks. Living in this level of stress sucks. So what I'm going to do is just say I don't agree to any of this shit, and it's not going to happen. And that's what I did. And I really stepped into just my guidance, because my ego wanted to tell me all of these dark, dreary things. And so I just really stepped into just my guidance. And, my team, my highest self, my creator, my spiritual team have been letting me know that things are going to be okay. They're going to be okay. It might be rocky, might be bumpy, but you're going to be okay. And I've trusted that. And I just went about the business of forgetting about that shit and making sure that I was taking care of my life, not in a way of worrying, but in a way of the best that I can, as happily as I can, like a happy little bumblebee, buzzing around, taking care of what I need to take care of. And, life is much better that way. It's just much better that way. And my team constantly assures us that we're going to be okay, and I trust that. So if tomorrow Trump says something wonky, I don't give 2 tiny shits. I don't care if he says something wonky or out of the way. I pay no mind, because my team spirit tells me we've got this. And great change doesn't happen. It's not like it's not smooth. Nothing that changes greatly is ever smooth, you guys. It just isn't. For one thing, nobody would change if everything was going great. Imagine that. So your life is perfect, and you're happy with your husband, and you're living in the best neighborhood, and you have the best job, and you're making the most money that you can in the position that you love the most. And Your kids go to the best schools and life just seems like a big picnic. What are you going to skip along like that and just stay in that momentum? Or are you going to just decide one day, oh, geez, I hate this perfect life. I'm going to change it. No, no one would ever change it, right? Because it's perfect. So, but if you lose your job and there don't seem to be jobs available and your husband starts cheating on you and your kids are going to school and they're not learning and they're being treated crappily by the teachers and all of these things are coming into play, then you're like, wait a minute, maybe this neighborhood isn't, and your neighborhood starts having more crime. Maybe this neighborhood isn't for me. Maybe I don't want my kids in that school. Maybe it's time for me to relocate, get a new job. Oh, maybe this husband isn't meant for me. And then you do what you've got to do. You maneuver through it. You make these great change. It doesn't feel good. It's bumpy. It's rocky. It's hard. You cry. You're depressed. Sometimes you're angry. It's a big ordeal. But then you get settled somewhere else where the universe has actually been trying to push you to be. And then, you get yourself settled in. You find a decent job. Your kids are finally at a decent school. And lo and behold, you're in the grocery store one day looking at potatoes and you meet your soulmate or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, no change that's worth anything comes easily. And we're going through great change. So, of course, there's going to be weird shit and wonky shit. And some things that you don't like, you're not meant to like everything. That's how it is. But at the end of the day, I trust because my guidance says we've got this and I've got this. Like right now, life is, it's normal. It's, right now, life is pretty normal. Are the grocery store prices still pretty high? Yeah. That's the yucky thing about things going up. They don't usually like to bring the prices back down, right? Even if the fuel costs go down to get the stuff there, once they've marked those prices up, they don't like to bring them back down. But, I get up and I put my pants on the same way I do every day, one leg at a time. I put on my shoes the same way, one shoe at a time. And I go about the business of living my life. I talk to my son. I love my son. I do my healing. I play with my animals. I cook. I clean. I create. I work. And I make sure I let all those people that I love know that I love them. And I take as good a care of myself and the ones that I love as best as I can, to the best of my ability. And that's my life. And so anything outside of that isn't in my control. And anything outside of that shouldn't be affecting this. Like what President Trump may or may not say tomorrow shouldn't be affecting the love that I put into Lukey Duke and my son and my boyfriend and my home and my land and my sister. And do you know what I'm saying? If I let that impact me, my life would be miserable because I've been aware for so long. If I let all of that impact me, I'm not going to be a happy person. So I can't let that impact me because then I would not be a happy person. I watch with eyes to see and I listen with ears to hear. And just kind of forget about the rest. Do you know what I'm saying? So I believe we're still winning and I don't care. I don't care how wonky it gets and I don't really care about the fear porn. I know that people love to spread the fear porn because it gets them lots of likes and clicks and comments and that makes them lots of money. But just because they're saying it doesn't make it true. You know what I mean? It keeps people stressed out, losing sleep, and it takes people away from their life, which we're meant to be living. But it doesn't make it true. So, and sometimes I'll see And I know they do it, I know some people do it under the umbrella of, well, I need to let everybody have a voice on my platform. And I get that. And, you know, I'm all about freedom. So I get that. And then they're like, I need to let everybody have a voice on my platform, and you all use your discernment. And I think that's fine. But the problem is with fear is it sends off all of these endorphins, and it's addictive. And the mind doesn't really care that it keeps you uncomfortable. The mind just wants more endorphins. So you know, fear porn is addictive, and it's not good for us. So retraining our brain to not go there is really important in our own inner peace. It really is, you guys. So I've yacked and yacked and yacked, but when it comes to that fear porn and always worrying outside of yourself, you're not going to have a full life. Then you'll die, right? Eventually you'll die, and you'll be able to view your life. You'll be able to stand there and view your life from start to finish. And you'll see all the places that you missed out on because you were stuck in worry and stuck in fear. You'll see all the beauty around you that you never enjoyed because you were stuck in a fearful place or a depressed place. You'll stand there looking at your life and you'll have regrets. Many of them, if you allow this stuff to impact you that deeply. You'll have regrets. You'll be like, wow, instead of sitting there up at night worrying about, you know, what the next god-awful thing was that never happened, I could have been, you know, on a picnic with my family, or I could have been digging in the dirt gardening, or I could have been walking through a cute little town window shopping, or I could have been at the beach, or I could have gone hiking, or I could have been, you know, playing board games or cards with my friends or my family, or, you know, there's a million things that can fill you up with your time. I could have been working on a project. I could have been doing all of these things that I might have enjoyed, but instead I was paralyzed in fear and overcome by worry, and I couldn't enjoy even the most basic and most beautiful things around me, like, you know, the phlox blooming this time of year or whatever, because I couldn't see the beauty there because I was so caught up in the stress of this next thing that never happened. And you'll notice with this fear, it's been going on long enough. So let's just say that you just woke up in 2020. Look at all of the fear porn that they have put out there and the propaganda that's been put out there over and over and over again, telling you the next horrible thing that's going to happen. And has it happened? And you don't even have time to comprehend that that didn't happen because boom, they're hitting you with another fearful thing that doesn't happen, and another one and another one and another one. And it keeps you in fight or flight. And when you're in fight or flight, or freeze, because that's the third thing that can happen there, your body is stressed. Your heart's working harder than it needs to. Your body is stressed. You're not healing as well. There's a lot of negative things that impacts your body physically negatively. It impacts your mental health negatively. It impacts your emotional health negatively. And it sure as hell impacts your spiritual health negatively. It really does. So, you know, let's just be realistic right now. How many of those god-awful things that they've scared people with over the last 5 years have happened? Bam. None of them. None of them, right? None of them. So, you know, everybody was terrified that Joe Biden, because he said he was going to send people to the doorsteps to jack up the people that refused to get the shots. Did anyone show up at your doorstep? Because no one showed up at mine. because they knew you might get shot. Like, you don't have a right to do this. And Americans own guns, and we're not afraid to use them. When it comes down to protecting our home, ourselves, our family, our loved ones, we're not afraid to use them. And you can't force vaccinate people. You might get shot. So no, they didn't end up going to people's houses to do that. But we were told they were gonna, right? So Biden makes this offhanded statement, and then everybody jumps on the fear porn. They're going to do it. They've implemented the plan. It's going to happen. They're going to be on your doorstep by. And that never happened. Joe Biden said that half-assed shit to make people wake the hell up. He was the biggest red pill of all. Wake up, people. We, the government, don't have a right to just show up at your doorstep and force vaccinate you. Like, this has been, we've been living through showing people in real time the overreach that the government has had on people via having to live through some ugly shit. But just because he said it didn't mean it was actually going to happen. It's meant to trigger people emotionally and get them thinking and discerning, and maybe getting up off their haunches and fighting for their own freedom, because we're part of this plan, right? So did some bad things happen? Yes. But, for the most part, if you're just an ordinary person living an ordinary life, unless you're going to these things where something could happen, the chances of you dealing with something like that are next to none. And so we just can't, do we want to die and look at our life and see all of the opportunities that we wasted in worry because of the next fearful thing that was said? I know I don't. I don't want to. And I see it so clearly. Like, people forget. They still listen to people will still listen to those same people telling you that the money is that you're going to get your big rollout of a huge amount of money tomorrow, and every other day it's tomorrow, and they've been saying it for 5 years, but it hasn't happened. But people still listen to that, and they hold on to it like it's true, even though this person has shown you over and over and over again that every time they give you a date for something, it doesn't happen. So those people still getting their likes and clicks, and then and comments, which makes them money. And then you have the people rolling out the fear porn left and right, which never happens, and they're still getting their likes and clicks and comments, which makes them money. And meanwhile, ordinary people have been on this terrible roller coaster. Oh good, I get this money tomorrow. Boom. It didn't happen. Oh my God, they're going to blow us up tomorrow. Boom, it didn't happen. But don't worry, because tomorrow they're going to have another thing to send you spinning on this roller coaster. So I don't understand why people still listen to the people that have been leading them down these ridiculous roads of ups, extreme highs and extreme lows, because they're not helping you, they're hurting you. And it kind of pisses me off. But we all have free will. It pisses me off that people think it's okay to do that to people. But we all have free will. So we all have the opportunity to say, no, I'm not going to listen to it. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's out there doing this, putting this stuff out for everyone to ride these extreme highs and lows. At the end of the day, it's still on us, because we make the choice whether or not we're going to listen to it, whether or not we're going to fall for it, whether or not we're going to waste our life on what this person is saying instead of living in the now. Don't spend your money today as though you're going to be rich tomorrow. Tomorrow isn't here. And, yesterday is gone. So live in the now as present as you can, and make good solid choices for right now. Not tomorrow. Don't hang your hat on things that people are telling you are going to happen tomorrow, or they're not going to happen tomorrow. I've had so many people ask me to read on the money, and I always get, you guys, that this war has to end before that's going to happen. It's what I get every single time. Every single time. Before currencies can be reevaluated and everything is spread out on an even playing field, this war that we're in of straightening out the world has got to, come to at least some sort of peaceable, sort of, get out of these waters that are currently pretty wavy, and have it be fairly smooth before any of that can happen. So don't hang your hats on what you don't have today. Don't hang your hats on the fear that they're telling you is going to happen tomorrow or the next day. Jump off the roller coaster and get back into living, get back into life, live in the now. That's what we're meant to be doing, because we don't want to die and view our whole life and have all these regrets about wasted time and worry and bad choices because we were told something by somebody that's telling you something different every other day anyway, just so that they can I'm sure these monetized channels with a lot of followers that are getting your endorphins going, hitting the likes, making the comments, I'm sure they're making quite a bit of money. So, like, what I do is I listen to people that, when I have a chance to listen, I listen to people that aren't trying to fill you full of hopium or paranoia. Level heads like my own. That's what I like, is just a level-headed podcast where people are just assessing the things that are going on, and I can shake my head and I can laugh and I can giggle and go, yeah, that's what I was thinking too, and resonate with it. And I find those podcasts enjoyable, but I don't listen to that other crap, you guys. That's a waste of my time. It drains you of your energy. It's not good. It's just not good. But again, at the end of the day, it's all on us. We make the choices of what to tune into, what to like, what to click, what to comment on, what to focus on, what to spend our time thinking about, and all of that. So, because free will. So it's on us. And if we all stopped falling for that crap, I bet that stuff would fall away. Just like the mainstream media is gradually falling away because people have stopped tuning in as much. And if we all stopped tuning into the fear porn or the people that are telling you that you're going to get your riches tomorrow, I bet that would all fall away, because there wouldn't be the demand for it and the money being made from it. Just saying. Just saying, you guys. So with all of that, blah, 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 I'm going to pull some cards. I want a 7-card spread. I want a true story. Only the truth is welcome here. Only the truth is welcome here. Only the truth is welcome here. I decree that, right? We want a true story. Just show us an umbrella, the energy of the trajectory that humanity as a whole is on right now. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. 7-card spread. Moving forward. That's the beginning of the that's the beginning of the story. So This card that I lay down first is going to kind of tell us the story. It's the main basis for the story, right? And then this card is the main basis for the energy that's building for that pathway, right? All right. So looks like you guys can see that pretty well. So right now, the umbrella of energy, the trajectory, right, that humanity is on right now, moving forward. All right, so we are moving forward, pulling in balance, being the seekers of truth and knowledge. That's the trajectory. So the awakening, right? So as we move forward, we're the seekers of truth and knowledge with that 7. We are working to be more balanced with this dark and the light. And we, as this beautiful, let me pull it up and show you with the chariot. There's the beautiful star right on his forehead. So we're awakening. We're connecting more with the heavens. We're becoming more sovereign. This guy is like, he's powerful. He's the leader, right? He's riding in his chariot, and that's a symbol of power. That's a symbol of leadership. Well, as we move forward, that's what we're going to be. We're going to be more leaders in our own lives. We're going to be more connected to heaven. We're going to be more balanced. We're going to keep seeking truth, knowledge. That's the trajectory of humanity. That's the path that we're on. So that's the trajectory of humanity right now. All right, so let's talk about our pathway. So the energy building our pathway right now is a main focus with that Queen of Pentacles. She focuses very deeply upon the earth plane. So the energy that's building, that draws the pathway forward, is a main focus on what happens here on this earth plane. So that is the umbrella of the energy. That's the trajectory that humanity is on as we move forward. More and more focus on the things that happen here on the earth plane, right? So that's the energy. And then as we move up, the energy that's built this, we come into that 9 of rods. And the 9 of rods completes a cycle. The 9 of rods makes you feel like you've been to battle, right? So it's completing a cycle. You've been to battle. You're finishing up. You've got your you have your war wounds and your battle scars, but you're finishing up and you're still standing. You've only got a few bandages. You might feel a little beaten and you're like, what the hell was that all about? With a little bit of a disgusted look on your face, but you're finishing this cycle so that this is getting cleared up and cleared off so that we can move forward, right? So there's a big focus right now on the earth and the battle, really, that humanity has been through throughout the ages here on the earth plane. So that's the big focus right now, and it kind of has to be if we're going to be the seekers of truth and knowledge with that 7, that chariot, as we move forward. We have to see how we've been beaten up. We have to see how we've been misused in order for us to stand in our power with this chariot and decree that we're not going to put up with that, right? So we have to see the truth and the knowledge around the way things have been done here on the earth plane in the physical with those rods in the physical daily world. So if you think about that, yeah, we've been a little beaten up. Prices are high. Healthcare is shitty. Insurance, all insurance is a bit of a fraud. We're forced to live using means of amenities that are kind of outdated. We know that are outdated. We know there's better better technology and things like that. But so we have to see that. We have to see that. And there's a big focus on that here on the earth plane. And there will continue to be one as we move forward with this chariot. There's going to continue to be the seeking of the truth and the wisdom and the knowledge, the seeking of spirit there with that star on our head, right? The seeking of our own inner power, standing in our own power, being the leaders in our own life, lifting our vibration with that star on our head, right? And helping to bring in some balance here on the earth plane. You know, really stepping into our true selves. And we'll do that because we'll be focusing for a while, you guys, on the way things have been done on this earth plane to humanity in a physical. It's been like a battle. It's a battle. You know, you have to get up and work your ass off every day to make a little bit of money to pay your bills, and robbing Peter to pay Paul, and how are you going to keep it all going? And then, you know, you reach your retirement age and you have like, you can't afford to maintain the home that you worked so hard to be indebted to for the last 30 years or more if you've remortgaged. And so it's a vicious cycle. And this is all going to be a big focus as we move forward. It has to be. We have to see the way we've done battle in order to want to make the change, right? So that's part of our pathway, is focusing on the earth plane about the battle that's gone on here. And the rest of the energy that comes up, it's not just a physical battle, but seeking the truth and the knowledge around this Five of Swords, how we've been lied to, how they've deliberately kept people depressed and downtrodden. With the swords, it can also be medicines and pokes. You know, how we've been lied to about medicines, how we've been lied to about technology, how we've just plain been lied to, because swords are words, thoughts, right? Ego. So there's going to also be a big focus as we continue to move forward. Our pathway is focusing on the physical battle that we've been in and how hard it's been made on us physically, and also the lies and the medicines and the chaos, and how there's been great pleasure in kind of bringing people down to that lower vibration and creating storm clouds for us all, right? So the storm. So that's our pathway, and it's going to be our pathway for a while, because we're, as the chariot, we're just going to keep moving forward, seeking truth, seeking knowledge, looking at the earth plane and how things are done, and also like looking at the earth plane and you know, like literally looking at what the earth actually is with the seeker of truth and knowledge, right? Looking at the way it's been like a hard fought battle day to day just to survive, and looking at the medicines and looking at the way we've been lied to, and, you know, also seeking truth about vibration, because we've got those swords there. So that's vibration and technology and all of that stuff. So this is going to continue. It's the Great Awakening. So for those people that tell you that all of a sudden everybody's going to wake up tomorrow, the light bulb's going to go off and the flick is going to be switched, and, you know, the work will have been done for them. That's more of that bullshit, you guys. It's more of that bullshit. It's, humanity has to learn. If you have everything handed to you, it's not appreciated. If it hasn't been, you know, if you don't go through the work of it, if you don't go through the learning of it, it's not as impactful. So as humanity moves forward, we're going to continue to seek truth and knowledge. Everybody will do that at their own pace, you guys, because that's called free will. We can't just steal somebody's free will. And I know that everybody says, well, but we were tricked. But on the other side, we weren't. We weren't tricked into coming here on the other side. We made the choice to come in for this so that we could be here for this Great Awakening, so that we could help wake up the earth with our vibration, so we could be here to support people who are waking up if they want that, so that we could raise children like I did that were awake, like my parents did that were awake. But we made the choice to come here. And we got to get out of this victim mentality. Oh, we came here and we were tricked. And we got to get out of this victim mentality and know that we're here to do great things. We're not victims. We may have been victimized at points in our life because that's the world that we made a choice to come into. And we made the choice to come in knowing that we would be victimized so that we could rise above it and increase our vibration and our knowledge and our strength and our perseverance, and set an example by the way we lead in our own lives for other people to rise above things too. We're not victims. The victim mentality and the please save me mentality is what's got us here. So we have to be very discerning, because you have those people out there, not only the people telling you you're going to get rich tomorrow and the people telling you that everything's coming to an end tomorrow. You also have those people out there saying, don't worry, you don't have to meditate, you don't have to pray, you don't have to seek your own truth and knowledge, you don't have to, self-heal, you don't need to self-heal your emotions, you don't need to increase your own vibration, you don't need to open up your own third eye, you don't need to make your own connections via your crown, you don't need to ground into the earth and into spirit, because you know what? Tomorrow, our brother and sister aliens are going to come here and they're going to flick a switch and everybody's going to be in 5D. Think about that. It's more bullshit. I'm just calling bullshit on it. Sorry, but we came here to work, to learn, to grow, to expand, to become. Nobody's going to do that for us. We can do that, and it's fun to do it. Frankly, it's fun doing our own work. I feel so good from the work that I have done to feel good that I'm excited to see how good I feel next year emotionally, because I continually do this work. So it's exciting to me. I've been doing it long enough so that I can look back and I can see the changes. I can see my growth. I can see how I don't react to things that I used to react to. I'm not triggered the way I used to be triggered. And when I am triggered, I can recognize that for what it is. And then I can reason with my ego about it and go about my day happily whistling. Emotionally, I'm so much happier. Mentally, I'm so much happier. The people around me are so much happier because I'm so much happier. And then that makes them so much happier. And then the people around them so much happier, because vibration is contagious. It is. So yeah, we're just going to keep doing our own work. I don't see a switch getting flicked here for us. We're going to keep doing it. Moving forward, we are going to learn how to be still. Moving forward, we're going to start incorporating more of this meditational practice into our lives. Moving forward, we're going to learn that stillness, because that stillness is very important for us to see via our etheric body, okay? So we have our physical body, we have our emotional body, we have our mind body, we have our spirit, we have our soul. And it's when we're sitting still, when we're being still and listening and really tapped in to the energies around us, below us, and above us, that we become enlightened. So as we move forward, we're going to be more practicing this stillness instead of autopilot and doing, and not really being present. We're going to start learning how to be more still as we move forward. That's the trajectory humanity is on, that stillness, so that we can connect. Across from us moving forward, we're going to become more truthful, which is good because people lie all the time. It's ridiculous. Now, I was just talking with my boyfriend, right? And I said, everybody lies. Everybody does. I don't know anyone that doesn't lie sometimes. Especially no matter who they are and how really much, even me, I hate being lied to because I've dealt with so many I've dealt with a couple pathological liars in my life, and it just makes you so irritated. It does. And so lying really makes me, like, I just get irritated. Like, don't tell me some bullshit story. Just tell me a true story. I'm more interested in a boring story that you might deem boring because it's just about the ordinary things than I am to listen to this big extravagant bullshit story. I hate the BS, right? So, but everybody lies sometimes. I'm not going to sit up on some white high horse and tell you that there are people out there that don't lie. And the problem is like, now I see a need for sometimes having to lie. The problem with me was because I dealt with the pathological liar thing. I was so honest to a point where, sometimes that hurt people's feelings. Sometimes we don't need to tell the truth. Sometimes we don't. Like, if somebody I love is wearing a shirt that they love, that makes them look frumpy, and I hate it and think it's ugly, and they love it because it's their favorite shirt, do I need to tell them that it's an ugly shirt? Do I need to do that? No. No, I don't need to do that. I don't need to tell them the truth and say, well, I think it's downright ugly. Because it doesn't matter what I think. My opinion of what that shirt is doesn't freaking matter. Now, so if I was going to answer, if they said, I love this shirt, what do you think? How does it look? I could, instead of saying it's ugly, like I might have done in the past when my throat chakra was stuck on wide open no matter what, instead of saying, ew, I don't really like it, you should take that off, I can dance around that subject and think about how I'm going to speak. And I may be omitting some truth, which is kind of a lie. And, there's just ways that we can go about things without hurting somebody's feelings. So there's times when we're going to lie. Or omit the truth, which is kind of a lie. But we're not perfect. And people's feelings matter. If I can avoid hurting somebody, I'm going to. So, and there are things that are none of my business. So if somebody says, did you hear or do you know? Even if I have heard and do know, I say no. That's a lie. Because I have heard and I do know. And it's none of my business. So I lie and say no, haven't heard, don't know. And then I'll go on to say, and I don't care. Don't want to hear about it. Not my business. But I'm not going to say, yeah, I already know, so that they can try to wheedle out more information from me. So we all lie sometimes. But as we move forward, we're going to be more ingrained to tell the truth. Right? So that's as we're moving forward in seeking our truth and knowledge, we're going to do this work, and we're going to expect things are going to rise higher within us all vibrationally, because we're going to all be like drawn to do that ourselves in our own growth and learning more how that impacts us in a positive way. And as we move forward, we're going to really be looking for more integrity, wanting that truth, wanting that knowledge, thinking about how we speak, being forthright. It's gonna be more important to us. I know people that will say now, I would rather have somebody polished bullshit me than have somebody, like Trump, who stands up there and says whatever he says, So you'd rather be bullshitted and lied to by somebody who is polished than have the truth told to you by Trump because you hate him. So that's an ideology. That's something that's going to go to the wayside, because we're actually, as we move forward, we're going to be looking for that directness from people like the Queen, people in leadership positions. We're going to want truth and directness there, and we're going to be implementing that all over the earth plane. So that means within ourselves as well. And then as we move forward, a lot of emotions are, so like moving forward, there's going to be a lot of emotional shit that we are going to have to clear. And that's where the meditation and that higher guidance is going to really come in and help us clear up these emotions that it's going to be a big focus. And I think that's probably because as we seek more truth and knowledge, we're going to find out so many things about the truth about this earth plane, the truth about the physical, basically the daily physical battle that we've been through, the truth about technology, medicines, lies, and it is, and our children, you know, everything. So it is going to shake people to the core. And that's the trajectory we're on. Humanity is on the trajectory to healing themselves, standing in their power, holding that balance, connecting more to the heavens, practicing things that will lift intuition, lift psychic abilities, lift vibration, expand, become, continue to seek the knowledge about the truth about what's been going on this earth plane in every way, shape, and form. Going to be really caught up in wanting truth, integrity in our leaders, and there's going to be a whole hell of a lot of emotional healing that we're doing here on the earth plane. That's the trajectory we are on. So that's the true umbrella of where humanity is going. So let's get a few more cards, okay? We're leveling up, you guys. We're leveling up. It's basically, you know, we're babies and we're leveling up. So let's get a little more conversation about the true trajectory of humanity. And let me get some coffee here. All right. Okay, so the truth about us, the umbrella of energy, the truth about humanity and the trajectory that we're on. All right, so the first card that I've laid down to get the second piece of the conversation, how we can ebb and weave this conversation in with that conversation. First card up, that love vibration, and that's covering what? That's covering our balance and meditation card. So we're literally winning every time we pull in that love vibration during our meditation and stuff. And honestly, when you connect with that, when you truly connect with that love vibration, doing your spiritual work, when you're sitting and you're doing your meditating and you're doing your spiritual grounding and you're sending and you're filling yourself with love and light and you're sending that out and then you're pulling it back in. When you truly connect with that love vibration, it's life-changing. It feels like you just have to experience it. You just have to experience it. It changes everything. And, you know, it's not going to happen for you the first time you meditate. You know, this is a practiced skill, right? So, but anyways, moving forward, you know, we will become more and more victorious every time we pull in that love vibration during our meditational periods, right? Moving forward, we will become more and more victorious every time we follow our highest guidance and our highest selves, and we walk away from that stuff that doesn't serve us, because right directly down from our Six of Rods, the victory lap, the divine love, the birthing new things, we've gone out, we've done battle, we're coming in, we're celebrating. We have the 8 of Cups, which means walking away from that stuff that doesn't serve you emotionally, and doing it with a healed root chakra, with vitality and passion and courage and strength, and just trusting in the universe and trusting your highest guidance. Moving forward, we're going to be doing that more. We're going to be very victorious in knowing what serves us and knowing what doesn't. We're going to be very victorious in increasing our vibration, connecting to that love vibration, and really becoming, right? Much more victorious moving forward. We're gonna win out over the. We're gonna go through this period of great change and learning and becoming, and we're going to be victorious. We're gonna learn to see those lies. We're gonna learn to see the deception. We're going to be victorious over knowing the truth about our medicines and things like that. We're really, we have this winning card, the 6. So we're winning, and that's the umbrella of energy. That's the trajectory of humanity. And then we come over and again, we've got that daily, the physical, right? The rods. So this is covering our 6 birthing new things, victorious. So we've been doing already, we've won a lot. We have won, we've broken much ground, you guys, with that 7 of rods. We've broken a lot of ground. We have saw a lot of knowledge. We have learned a lot of things. We have taken a hold of our physical journey, and we're really doing very well, you guys. Now, breaking new ground covers the Page of Cups, right? So not only have we broken all sorts of new ground about finding truth, finding the information, going through the changes, doing the physical things within our lives, pulling in the love vibration, healing emotions, again, finding new truth, being able to see deception, a little more clearly. Humanity is growing. These cards, we're growing. We're breaking new ground every day, looking at ourselves, our emotions, our egos, our triggers. We're breaking new ground every day, finding truth, finding knowledge, riding this storm out. Great change through the storm. We're breaking new ground every day, working to pull in that love vibration, lifting our vibration via spiritual work. We're breaking new ground every day, finding truth and being able to discern truth from lies. We're breaking new ground every day, doing the work, piling up the work and looking at it. We're still growing though. We're still growing. We have to stop just staring at the work that's been done without wanting to do more work to keep going and getting there, right? So that's always the challenge with the 7 of Pentacles. It's like, well, I've done all of this, and I've broken all of this ground, and, I've driven this stake in, and I've planted all of these seeds. I don't want to do anymore. I just want everything to be perfect now, while neglecting that there's still that one thing that you could do. And the fact is, there's always going to be another one thing. That's just the truth about humanity becoming, constantly in a state of becoming. When there's no more one more thing left to do, or anything more that could be done, we won't need to be here. We won't need to be here. Our soul will have absorbed everything that it needed to for its lessons, and we'll go home. We'll go home. And then we'll come back or go somewhere else and allow ourselves an experience again for our soul's growth and learning and expansion. It's kind of how it works, right? So yeah, we've got a lot of good stuff going on. We're looking at this chaos, change through chaos with this 5 of Swords, and Some of us can clearly see the lies. Some of us can clearly see the truth. Some people can clearly see that these people are very depressed and crying over lies and things, feeling defeated over things that aren't even the truth. Some of us can clearly see that with the lovers, okay? We can clearly see it with the lovers. And so if we're looking at these people that are upset, that have that deception behind them, you know, what can we do to help get them over the hump? Well, we can send them good energy. We can send them, you know, healing. We can send them love. We can be there for them to show them things if they want them, because when they don't want it and they haven't put themselves in a position where, if they're not asking, it's not up to us to give it, I guess, you know what I mean? Because people aren't going to be receptive to something that they're not seeking already. Cognitive dissonance gets in the way. But when there's an opportunity that you can show somebody something, not forcefully, but just show them, we take the opportunity to show that deception. And then if they choose to turn around and look at it or not, they won't. But the people that see deception and the people that have all of this passion for life, we're here to help others get over this hump, to encourage people to get over the hump, to not want to give up like these people up here in the Five of Swords have done. They've given up. They've dropped their swords. They've dropped their vibration. Their shoulders are bent, so they've succumbed. They, you know, like the little mouse that will just kind of succumb even though it's still alive when the cat has it in its mouth. Do you know what I mean? They've succumbed and their vibration is lowered, and, you know, they're crying, they're in tears because they feel as though they've lost all of their power. And this guy is grinning because he feels like a real, you know, bullies love to steal another's power, right? And, you know, he's been very tricky. He's mingled some truth in with lies so that he can get these people to be lowered. And so it's up to the people that are really standing in their power, you know, standing in their power, seeking the truth and the knowledge, lifting their vibration, trying to heal themselves, knowing that we're here shifting and changing right now. It's really up to those people to be there to kind of help these people when they're very down, or when they're thinking about dropping their swords, when they come to you, or when the opportunity is available, right? And if nothing else, then we can do that energetically. We can do that energetically. But we have to be doing our own work to be doing that, right? You don't just sit and send things out to the world because your cup is empty. And if you're not healed, that's what you're sending out into the world. But if you sit and you connect to the earth, and you connect to your highest self, and you connect to your guidance, and you connect to your creator, and you're pulling energy from the heavens down into the earth, and you're pulling the earth's healing energy up into you, and then you're filling yourself with divine love, and you're filling, then you're moving outward, and you're filling the earth with divine love, and you're seeing that coming out and healing and joy, and you're seeing that all come out of the earth and touch everything upon the earth. And you're seeing it get so big and so full that it goes out into the ethers. And you see it and you decree it, that it's just going to continue to expand. And that this healing and this energy is going to stay and continue to expand and continue to heal any soul and anything that's open and willing to receive it. And once you're done with that, you fill yourself back up again. Then at the end of that, you are feeling way better for what you've done. So you're helping, but you're creating a situation where you're helping yourself. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we're meant to be doing. So we can help energetically with this love vibration, connect to the love vibration and send that out via the field, right? As we move forward. And that's really going to help. That's really going to help lift people that are in those lower places. That little bit of energy work can really help people that are maybe still in deception, right? It's kind of our job. Part of our break in the new ground is doing this energy work, the love vibration. Do you see how he is standing here in the Lover's card? He sees clearly across to her, and she's standing there with the serpent whispering in her ear, deceiving her, and she's looking up to the heavens, but she's being deceived. And this guy, he's got the passion behind him, the flames are behind him, the passion, the courage, the strength. And he knows he's connected to the heavens. He doesn't have to look up and go, where are you? He knows he's connected to the heavens, and he can see the deception. And so he's going to step into the love vibration, right? Into the love. When you go up to the 6, the rods, he's going to step into the love. And then you go up into the 2, vibration, where you're meditating, right? And he's going to send that out, right? And this can help her break new ground. And us doing that can help her emotionally heal. And us doing that moving forward can help her see truth, right? And us doing that moving forward can help us see what serves us and walk away from what doesn't. And us doing that moving forward can really help plant our crop and show us our growth. And as we come down, as we do this work, our crowns open more with this Page of Swords here on the earth plane, because that's covering the Queen of Pentacles, the earth plane. This work lifts our vibration, gives us fresh perspectives, higher vibrations, opens the crown, right? We receive our enlightenment, and we lift that vibration higher, and we become like little heavenly warriors here on earth. And that's the trajectory. We're becoming. So have I delivered this message in a way that you guys think is okay? Did I deliver the message correctly? Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Have I delivered the message to the best of my human abilities via the cards, the way you would have hoped me to? Did I get the message across clearly and accurately? Please and thank you. And we'll cut them. Yes, it did. And with that Queen of Wands, so with the queens, the kings, the higher arcanas, depending on the card, gives the answer, right? So the queen's telling me, yes, I delivered this to you. But the Queen of Wands, you guys, the secondary message in this is she is incredibly powerful. She may not be a higher arcana because she's more like, this is the day-to-day stuff. But she's incredibly skilled. She is in joy. She has the yellow. She's in full joy. She's very creative. You'll see the orange around her. She's holding the sunflower. She's very full of joy. She's got her little kitty. She's very connected to her intuition. She's holding her rod. She's literally manifesting her life via her gifts and skills. And then you'll see the red. She's incredibly passionate. She's very passionate. She's got courage. She's got skill. She's a real leader, but she's like so intuitive. She's so gifted. She's so skilled. She, some people might call her like a witch. She's like, that's what some people would call her, witchy, because she's so in tune to the healing modalities here in the physical journey on the earth plane. She's so tapped into her intuition. She's always doing these high vibings, manifesting literally what she wants and what she needs. She's very creative. She's very connected to her own identity. She knows who she is. She doesn't need somebody else to tell her who she is, and she won't accept somebody else's rendition of what they think she is, right? She's very, very sovereign, strong, intuitive, gifted, skilled, really tapped into the universe. And so if we're looking at where humanity is going, the trajectory, and we've been talking about how this is kind of playing out when we move, as we're moving forward, the expansion and where we're at, which is a good path. It's that growth, and that's lifting that vibration higher and higher. When we're talking about our trajectory that way, and we get the Queen as an answer that we've delivered this correctly, that's showing that each person that decides to stay here on the earth plane and continue this journey will be more and more that, like that Queen, more and more as we move forward, right? So, I mean, this is what's happening. It's a really cool time to be alive. I frankly, because I've been on this path long enough, doing my own work long enough, really enjoying the way it feels to do that work and see my growth and my healing and my expansion. And I've been doing it so long. I would be pissed to have that all taken away from me. To have somebody just decide, 20 years ago, Lorri, I guess we're just going to snap our fingers and throw Lorri into like 5D reality tonight while she sleeps. For one thing, it would drive people batshit crazy. They can't. This has to, your vibration increases over time. Your gifts open up over time. Because if you had it just done all at once, your mind wouldn't know how to comprehend it. Your mind would think that you were hallucinating. Your body would feel very uncomfortable. As you're going through ascension symptoms, your body does all of these little things, and that's in phases, stages, the ascension symptoms. So if all of a sudden one day somebody said, oh, Joe Blow down the road is in 3D, tonight we're going to do him this big favor, and we're going to go in, we're just going to snap by his finger, and we're going to take him into 5D, that would tip him over the edge. That would tip him over the edge. He'd wake up in the morning, he'd think that he'd gone crazy. He wouldn't be comfortable in his body. He'd be seeing things, feeling things, knowing things that he didn't know, prior to that particular morning, and it would tip him over the edge. So, we've got to being discerning and really stepping back and thinking of things logically is also very important. It might seem like a slow roll, but it's a fun roll when you're doing it yourself. And it doesn't matter if my neighbor is doing the same work that I'm doing. It doesn't matter. I'm doing this work and it feels good for me. And when I do this work, I send my neighbors love. And I send clarion and love and high vibrations to them. And it doesn't matter to me whether or not he's doing it, because I'm doing it and it feels good. And I'm sending it to him. So, good enough. You know what I mean? Good enough. And that's really, I guess it comes back to just mind our own business. Focus on our life. Don't worry about what the neighbors are doing. Don't worry about what the rest of the world is doing. Give everybody their chance to go through this life on their path, without us saying how their trajectory and how fast their trajectory should be going. We don't like people telling us what we have to think, what we have to do, how we have to be, what we should believe. So we can't really be doing that to other people either. So just know the trajectory is good. The trajectory is good. And if it's not fast enough for you, do more of your own work. And that'll speed things up for you. And you'll just feel better. And eventually you just won't care how fast it's going for everybody else. You just won't care. You just won't. Truly. I know it can be irritating. Just tune out the people that want to tell you things that you know aren't truth. And just tune it out. Be careful about who you listen to, what you take in. You know, protect your mind from the stuff that you know is bogus. And heal your emotions. And just keep doing what it takes to get higher and higher vibing. So with all of that said, more and more healed, happier and happier, more and more inner peace. But know that humanity is on a really good trajectory. And so I call that winning. That's winning. And then from there, I look at the outside plan, the way things are playing out on the world stage, right? And I can see how these things are meant to shake people up, to kind of shake them awake. They're being shaken via experience so that they can kind of start getting to this place. Because it goes back to that, you wouldn't make changes if you didn't see that you needed to make changes. So when Trump's up there saying whatever that makes the patriots feel uncomfortable with what he's saying, kind of remember that's not for you. He's just a face, the main guy on the stage, a face in an operation that's going on to keep shaking humanity's emotions, to help kind of get them to a place where they're waking up a little bit and a little bit and a little bit and seeing problems and seeking information. And those people that aren't waking up, who the hell cares? Like, everybody wants to say to me, well, I'm not seeing it. Look at the numbers on the back channels. There's your proof. They keep increasing. I mean, I've watched channels, the numbers just have increased and increased and increased. Look at the numbers dropping off of the regular news cycles. And, look at those things. And don't worry about the percentage of people that aren't going to wake up. You guys, some people won't wake up. Not your problem. It's not your path. And their lack of waking up is actually part of teaching us. So we're learning something through them. If we would just stop being so irritated with their lack of waking up, there's a lot there that they're mirroring out to us that we can learn from. Right? For one thing, how to handle our own triggers and our own annoyances and not let them impact us. Shows us how not to act if there's some of those hateful people. Anything that they're saying, maybe we can do a little more digging and maybe we'll go another layer deeper and find more truth and more knowledge. If it's hurting our feelings or making us feel like our lives aren't good because they're where they're at, then that's some inner work for us to do emotionally. Because honestly, our inner inner peace and happiness shouldn't be coming from what some way far to the liberal guy who doesn't know anything and is brainwashed and sputters, things that we just know to be non-factual. That shouldn't impact our inner happiness. In fact, honestly, rather than being irritated, we should just maybe be sending that person love. So there you go. I've rambled and rambled. It's a long video. I'm sorry. No, I haven't given you news about the president or news about anything. But what I gave you was the trajectory that humanity is on, the truth about our pathway and our journey here. So with all of that being said, and I think that's more important than all that outside bullshit, to be honest. That's just me. But I think that's more important for us to understand the trajectory of humanity, where we're going, and this period of growth that we're going through. And it's a good trajectory. It's learning, it's growing, it's overcoming, and it's becoming. It's us becoming. So with all of that being said, as I close out, what would the universe like to leave us with as the energy stands right now, and the message that we just got about humanity becoming more than we had been? What would you like to leave us with one card? Insight, clarity, advice, whatever. What do you want to leave us with? One more shuffle, one more card. Five. Great change. They're leaving us with great change. So this is the 5. This is the systems. Systems are going through great change. Why are they going through great change? Because the systems have been doing everything they can to keep humanity down. Right? They've been impacting your purse with these pentacles, right? Your purse strings. They impact the money. They control the money. They impact the weather. This is snow on the ground. They impact vibration. They have control over all of this poverty and destruction. And so because of that, because of the harm that these systems have created and the suffering that they've created for humanity, those systems are going through great change. I'm going to pull more cards because there's more. Their foundations are crumbling, you guys. Their foundations are crumbling. People at the top of these systems in these, from their place on high, they're jumping ship because they can see the foundations are crumbling. Okay? They're jumping ship. Let me get the next 2 cards. So with that, be still and look with eyes to see and ears to hear. Really tap into your intuition and into your own vibration and into your own healing. Get very intuitive around this, because when you tap into that intuition, this is very important. You're going to be able to see the crumbling of these dynasties. Okay? You'll be able to view that. So we come down from our 5, the destruction that these systems have been bestowing on people for a long time, right? And we see that their foundation is crumbling. We can see it. We'll be able to physically, literally see the actual physicality of these systems that are crumbling. So they're telling us with the 7, they want us to start looking with eyes to see. Look with eyes to see. The proof is out there. And we should be able to see a lot of different physical things that show us that these foundations have crumbled, that show us that people are jumping ship from their places up on high. And there's more to come. So they've told you the trajectory. And now, my guides, because they freaking rock, and this is a long video, I realize, but now they're saying, all right, we're not going to just lecture you about how humanity is shifting in particular ways. We're telling you there's actual proof that these systems are coming down. They're crumbling. There's proof and you can see it. But you have to look for it. You have to look because it's actually really there. So they want us to start looking with eyes to see. There's proof that people in places on high have jumped ship. They're not there. There's proof that these systems' foundations are crumbling. There's proof. And there's proof out there that these systems have literally done things to hurt humanity. There's physical proof of all of this and more to come. And they want us to have eyes to see. So I'm just going to let them have, I'm going to shuffle them a couple more times. And I know this is very long and I'm sorry, but I'm going to let them have a couple more last words and then I'll clarify. Because I think that's important. And that might inspire you if you do, but honestly, the inspiration should come from within for us to want to do our own work, to lift our own vibration, to feel better, right? And then while we're doing that, like for me, I see these things and I get to giggling. My boyfriend and I just giggle, giggle, giggle. Um, it makes us giddy to see these things that are happening, because they are. There are things definitely happening. And so it makes us giddy, but, you know, free will and all of that. It's not up to me to tell you what to do, but I can advise you. I can give you insight. I can show you the trajectory of humanity. I can hand you tools that would help. You can take those tools and use them, add them to your toolbox. You guys can share your tools in the comments to help other people, the tools that you're already currently using. And then we can use those, and then we can share those tools with other people, and on it goes. Do you see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we can all share our tools and we can all share our knowledge, and we can all say these things will benefit us, and this is the overall trajectory. But at the end of the day, it is free will, and we can hand somebody a whole toolbox full of tools, but it's up to them to use them. So, you know, it's up to all of us to use this information and this knowledge and the tools that we have and the tools that we've had shared with us and the tools that we're sharing with others to help ourselves feel better or not. And it's up to us to use our eyes and our discernment to see that things are really happening, and stop being so depressed over every little thing that somebody else has thrown out for fear porn, or every wonky thing that might be said. Do you know what I'm saying? The power stands within us. So anyway, I talked without touching the cards for a while, so I'm just going to shuffle them 3 more times, and I'm going to let them speak. Cut them 3 times. Let them speak. Open the crown, new journey, new vibrations, karmic times, you guys. Clearing the way, bringing in the joy, assessing the situation, and powerful leaders. So, you know, we are starting something new, okay? We're starting something new. We're putting that devil back down on the bottom. Humanity is awakening. They're awakening to truth and knowledge, but they're also awakening to those higher vibrations, and they're also awakening to an abundance that is here on the earth plane. There's a lot of things that people don't consider of value. Like, for instance, they've taught you to kill your dandelions and your jewelweed. And those things are abundant in healing benefits. So we're going to begin learning again all of the beautiful abundance that has been provided here for us all this time. But new beginnings, you guys, higher vibrations coming in as we put all of this dark shit back on the bottom, as we write what's been happening here, and we heal and end this inversion, right? We've cleared a path. A good portion of this is behind us. Rejoice, you guys. Look out, really assess as we're looking at these leaders of the world and what they're doing, because the leaders of the world apparently have passion, courage, integrity. They want the highest and greatest good for everyone, because this is covering the karmic times, the ending. It's covering putting these devils back on the bottom. It's covering the joy. It wants joy. It's covering the physical journey, and it's covering the higher vibrations, the knowledge, the truth, the awareness, the expansion, the golden age, literally, with that crown. So we do have good things happening here, and you should be able to see it. But that's the truth of it. We have good leaders. This is karmic times. The proof is out there. So don't get wrapped up in the fear crap. Know that humanity is on a really good trajectory. And we've got big things happening here with the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower. Big things, big karmic things. taking down these systems. They're crumbling. People are jumping ship. We're putting the devils back on the bottom. We're ending a cycle. This is good stuff. Have faith, because we do actually have good leaders. So people want to tell you, oh, everybody's been deceived, and, there's bad Trump and bad Putin and bad this and bad that and bad the other. My cards are always, my team is always saying we have good leaders with integrity. And this is part of this big karmic time of growth and awakening that we're going through. And it is what it is. But I just want to know, did I deliver this to everybody to the best of my ability, to your satisfaction? Please and thank you. Have I delivered the message correctly? So I was just going to leave them with one card, but I could tell there was more to say. And so we let them talk, right? Because I think their messages are important, even though they keep me going long a lot of the time. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I feel like I've talked a lot. Whew. So I delivered everything to all of us, because I'm getting the message as well. It's not just me delivering messages, but like I might be doing all the talking and the card pulling and the asking and whatnot, but I'm also a big piece of getting these messages. So yes, I delivered the messages correctly with that Lover's card. That Lover's card is a very big, oh hell yeah, because that's a higher arcana. The reminder here, that secondary message is, let's be this guy standing in front of the fire, right? So hold your courage, hold your vitality, hold your passion for life, stand back straight, chin up, shoulders back, and, trust the universe, trust your highest guidance, be in that love vibration, hold that love vibration, and just be there holding space for others, and let them go through their period of time as they need to go through it, and just be there for when they're ready, right? Humanity is getting over this hump. We are under this vibration of divine love that is bringing in great change. So we're being very much guided by the heavens, you guys. And if we trust that, then we're good. Okay? All right. That was a long one, and I've been trying to talk fast, and I've been talking fast, I think. And now, my voice feels very worn and tired. But I do want to tell you all that I love you very much, and I hope that you have a beautiful day. It is now 7:17. I just happened to look at the digital clock there on my stove. Can you guys see it? Have I got it so you can see it? I can't tell. And you see the stove. 7:17. Can you see it, you guys? I hope so. So anyways, yeah. There you go. There's that message. 17, right? The military operation that we know is going on, that we're constantly told is going on. And then 7, seeking the truth, seeking the knowledge, right? 7 plus 1 is 8, right? 8 plus 7. You got to do the 8 plus the 7. So there's your 15. What does that break down to? 6, divine love. So look at all the messages right there in that 7:17. 7, seek the truth, seek the knowledge, highly spiritual. 17 being the Q operation, right? And then 7 plus 1 equals 8. 8 plus 7 equals 15. 1 plus 5 equals 6. Divine love, divine love, heavenly love, birthing new things. So anyway, there you go. I love you all very much. I hope you enjoyed the reading and found a little bit of value in it, maybe a little bit of peace in it, a little bit of comfort in it, a little bit of insight. Maybe it helped with some clarity on things. I don't know. I hope that you found some bit of value in it. But as per the usual, this is just what I'm getting. So take from it what resonates, toss the rest, and, have a beautiful day, and keep validating your intuition, keep building your skills, and keep vibing high, and keep filling your cup, filling your cup, filling your cup, so that you can continue to expand and grow and become. All right, you guys, I love you. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you soonish. All right, bye.